little bit of spam, a little bit of spray.
No pressure, Rez, but you're about to have a lot of players right next to you. This is a really nice angle. You saw Rain doing this during Cologne as well, and he had some incredible moments for FaZe. Looking for a way out, though. He'd already stepped once. He doesn't want to outstay his welcome, but now it does isolate Forest. The smoke comes back in. That allows him some room. He goes to position towards that Snacks corner, hoping they don't check on it, but they do. The spam comes in. XMS. Great damage with the Tech 9, but he's already out. Look at these flashes. Oh, it's relentless. Forrest can barely see. Ringing in his ears. And he's wondering, how the hell did XMS get here? But it doesn't matter by now. It's between Rez and Exist. The shutdown comes in. It's all on Happy.
He's already been able to retreat back to the side of Checkers, but he doesn't get that bomb. So he has to come back in with 40 seconds to play off of. He spots the man on the hop. Oh, dirty. Draken with a wall bang. One shot is all he needs to take the ninjas towards the double digits. Happy thought he had a chance, but he was denied.
Yeah, between Rez... Is it Exist here? Yeah, between Rez and Exist, that was a really nice shutout, and this is the final one. As you do. Nice and casual. It works, and that's all you can ask at the moment, is getting it done. NIP needed a reminder, a bit of a refresher on that CT side that, yeah, we get it going, don't worry. They do on the important round as well, the gun round, the big buy, but it wasn't actually that much of an investment from Envy. It was still a lighter purchase. They still had that Tech 9, they had a UMP. It wasn't that full investment. Now, they don't have an AWP or anything in this one, but they do have all rifles and plenty of Molotovs.
Starting to use those Molotovs towards the boost, just to ensure nobody counters it. Forrest priming a flash towards main. That's going to allow Exist a bit of wiggle room. Just trying to clear out these corners. Now, there's still that forward presence from Drake, and he's posted on the angle and Squeaky. While the Molotov forces Exist back, Draken's going to move forward further. Happy holds the cross, but he's going to pull out the smoke. Flashbang up close. XMS completely blind. Exist capitalizes on the opportunity, but XMS gets the entry. And a re-smoke. Draken able to push so far up that he removes Scream off of the boost. So now they know what's going on. And Envy down to a 3v4. Can they find some more? RPK certainly can, as he entries into B. That's where the bomb does stand. Get right. Smoked off. But creeping forward as EnvyUS make it towards site. Does he wait? Does he fight? RPK down for the count. And it is just Sixer standing.
Not known for the rifle. The AWP far more regularly used in his hand. Flash goes in towards CT, but he turns attention, looks towards Checkers, but it's Forrest on the other side. And he will not relent. Diffuse comes in and NIP build again. The gun rounds are going their way.
This is solid. Sure enough, the pistol and double conversion. It's in the hands of Envy, but a dodged reset in that round puts Nip in a great spot to keep moving this one forward. 2 points to the lead, and what should be an easier task in front of them, seeing as EnvyUS will not be able to afford into this round. Not healthily anyways. They will buy themselves a couple of Deagles, a couple P250s, and a nice collection of grenades. This is actually quite the spend here. Scream down to 950. We've seen him keep just pistols in certain rounds before, but nice flash.
I don't know why he's invested so much. Everyone else bought down to around 2k, which is fine, but he's really gone in on this. Alright. Method to the madness, I wait to find out. Rez doesn't quite get the molly he wants, but it's still fine. It does the job that it needs to. Falls back towards site. And he's got support here now. Get right, moves over, and now they have the 2B hold.
XMS already starting to prime the molly. That's going to go to the back of Checker's side. Of course, prevents a peek, but there's nobody there to even go for this. Get right instead stands on site, and Rez cowers to the corner. Meanwhile, EnvyUS start to retreat off of this, so no commitment has been made. They keep things in the open.
No, for Envy, that's info. Happy's just heard a step in main. That's actually pretty useful for him. I'm wondering if they can actually get away with this. They still have those smokes and flashes and mollies. If they can put them down in the right places, they could actually probably get this bomb plant. It's already looking like it's beginning to seem like a retake for NIP. Exist is working his way back in here, And they are still so dead set this is going to be a B hit. And here it comes. Exist is going to need to call for help right about now. He's going to find the first, the second, the third! It's perfect from Exist. This guy comes alive when it matters. That could have been a bomb plant. That could have been everything. And you never know how that goes from then on. Envy with pistols, you know they're deadly. So now, Happy trying to do anything he can. Make it costly. Make it annoying to deal with, but no. All Exist. And that was a massive round from him.
That was glorious to the back of Forklift. Just headshots aplenty. He's content with himself, clearly. Let's just enjoy this. Never more than 3 bullets per kill.
Yeah. Incredibly concise. And yeah, now Scream's down to the Tech 9. I don't get why he bought so much last round. He would have been on the same buy as everyone else. So maybe just a mistake. A little over purchase, maybe just didn't focus. And again, they are trying to go towards B. Rez and Forest on the other side. Smoke's still up. You can see above it, Rez still looking for that info. But for Envy, you kind of need to get this round going now. Otherwise, this NIP, 13 rounds, you start to feel like you're basically there.
Starting to run out of chances is Envy. Forest anti-flash. Just going to stay standing. This does give a bit of wiggle room for Rez to play off of. He's trying to spot targets, trying to spam them out. Has to be cautious. But at least now Forest is here to support, so they're keeping up the pressure, but as is Envy. RPK gets flashed into checkers, leaving Forest on his lonesome. Molotov to try and keep this A main push away. B rather, Nip has arrived. 3 players coming into the site. Forest tries to dodge the fight, but it's Draken who takes the kill. However, he is still sectioned out. Scream on site. Allows that bomb to cross. Get Right tries to spam yet again. Another bit of utility being spent here from Envy. And they are going to find this site for the taking.
Where is Happy right now? He's so far away from the rest of the team. He can be incredibly useful in a second's time, but if NIP do this quickly, there are problems ahead. Draken to find Scream. Sixer needs to stay alive for a little bit of time here. He needs to buy time. Happy, he strikes. The molly, it can be perfect. He needs to get it down. Where's the plant? Oh, Exist is on the bomb. 1 second, Happy. He makes it in time. No, NIP got the defuse. Happy's lurk was so late. I don't get it. I don't know why he went around that long. Oh, why did he go that way? Why did he wait so long to throw down the molly like that? I don't know if it was a miscommunication, if he didn't know where the plant was, if he... I don't get it. You could throw that molly just fine from 3 steps prior. So let's watch this again. Molly goes in. He finds the fire. But by that time, the bomb defuse came in. It was a second late, but... This game is a matter of seconds, and when he's already gone round all the way through A main, and his team are already wounded, and NIP is starting to retake, he's so late to that. Ugh.
Had the Molotov been thrown sooner, had the first bullet hit, slight variables make all the difference. Not just a game of seconds, but milliseconds at that. Unfortunate for Envy, but they are going to get themselves another chance. They haven't given this up just yet. XMS with an entry, Draken with the trade. And a 4v4 towards site, but again, that bomb from Envy is trying to pry over towards the B site where Forest's left alone. But as opposed to revealing himself, he's just going to camp to the backside of checkers. Now, a single Molotov on Scream could force his feet. Instead, Forest goes for the fight, and it costs him. RPK to take the frag, and now the spam from him as well. 4v2, greatly done, but Get Right on the lurk. He's going to catch this rotation with a headshot onto Happy, but he's tagged significantly so. 12 health, all that remains as Scream will plant the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
This retake looks pretty unlikely, as they are trying to adjust away. Draken can always fall back towards CT and they can keep all of these guns. Money-wise, NIP starting to get a little lower on cash. A couple of players might need to be dropped out here. Not exactly having that full purse to back on towards. As Envy very much taking away the vast majority of their funding. Very close rounds coming through in the last couple of moments as well, bear in mind. But overall here, finally a fight back for Envy. After what was an incredibly close round in a very questionable moment. They have a bit of a breath of fresh air after what felt like a lifetime of darkness. They are back in this one. They do make it to double digits, and they can punish the money now from NIP if the break comes in.
Poor Nip, actually. Poor Nip, quite literally. This is going to be a crucial round for both sides here. Either Envy get a second on the board and they can run away with a little bout of momentum, or they get hard reset and Nip could have an easy job of sealing the deal.
Look at this read. Envy know that NIP want aggression here. It's such a good read. Sixer was primed with this flash. He kind of eats it himself, but RPK was already boosting himself up or sitting on that spot. They are very aware that NIP want to switch something up whenever they seem to lose a round or go down to slightly less money or work with less utility. Good mental fortitude from Envy to read into this now. Still got a lot to work with themselves here too. That molly could do wonders, but Draken could cause a lot of problems for them.
Draken's going to get pushed off his angle, so he's going to leave Rez isolated behind the boxes amongst those smokes. Luckily for Rez, he does not get pushed upon. EnvyUS instead to redivert their attention. Still leaving bomb outside of mid-main, so no commitment can be made. But the fight versus Get Right could be what they want instead. Forrest with a nice little boost using the light fixture as opposed to the boxes. Gives him a bit more of an off angle. He's going to start to tag down XMS, but he can't take himself that frag. 92 points of damage, all he gets. And forced back that bomb heading towards the B site, but EnvyUS keeping up this pressure.
Now the problem is that Exist can see this. He sees that there's no one else pulling through, so you can see Get Right's already rotating towards B. It'll leave maybe 2 players here for now. It doesn't really worry NIP. They're going to have the main vast majority of their workforce already on this B site. Get Right causing impact. Rez is there. Peek-a-boo. He gets the job done. It's down to Happy now, who's a mile away, not surprisingly. And sadly this time, no chance on the lurk that he depended on before that didn't work out in the end. Time runs out. NIP stepping again. Right direction, right time, right place. We're seeing why they're so damn good at cash.
But again, as alluded to, that cash flow for Envy hits a bit of a brick wall. Unable to convert their point. Solid hold from Rez. Solid hold from the entirety of the Ninjas. Let's see what happens here. We are going to get that second AK and the third. Sixer, Scream to Force. Not playing for OT, but rather the win.
Yeah, I think that Envy wanted the timeout, but kind of forgot they already called one, I think, during this game. So, whatever it may be, a little late on the purchase, but no real time to adjust now for themselves. They need to think of a way to approach this. They could go for a little bit of a slower hit here, maybe just talk things through for a little while. Mull over their options because, as said, NIP's CT side has been so good. Even though they had a good read a couple of times, it just hasn't quite paid off. Now, RPK and XMS are going to have to work with far than perfect amounts. Draken taking a gamble there, does get away. Gives up the angle to Scream, but he can't use it. Scream will get absolutely destroyed. Forrest now played in off the back of that. RPK goes looking for info and finds far more than that. Flash comes out. Forrest can now back from this. And again, NIP just kind of bring down the fence. Envy not getting a look in here.
Ooh, XMS at least able to grab one headshot, and that A site has fallen. But to what avail? The bomb quite easily in the control of NIP. And if you're EnvyUS at this point, you can't help but feel like the save's already on the table. I mean, you can see them communicating. Happy, very vocal at this moment. Could use this opportunity to just converse. Why not? They need to figure out some kind of a solution. They're going to have 5 opportunities to force OT, and they need to take every single one. Nip have done a fantastic job of locking down cash, locking down their pick, and potentially extending this series to 3.
Yeah, just remember moments ago Happy was dancing. Now, not so much. Control of the guns. Eye up for more opportunities. No fist bumps for you, Draken. Put your hand down. Good shot there towards Scream, however. But yeah, 15 to 10. NIP's CT side coming in pretty strong for them right now. And it feels like, sadly for Envy, they've lost out on that punch. They don't have a single player doing, you know, crazy amounts for them. It's not like you have that RPK or that Scream power coming through, which is, you know, that's not necessarily an awful thing. You don't need that sort of approach. But right now, NIP are going to want to run away with this. Look at it, instantly running towards A main. Proper player, nice and early. They could have left Exist in there. They don't. They fall him away from it. And now, the rest of Envy look for more opportunities. They're still going to be playing very, very slowly on this one. I don't think they'll be able to make a quick piece happen just because of that CT-side aggression. Look at XMS. He has to sit like this until they can try and retake the control.
Of course, EnvyUS realize that the moment some of these players start to fall, their chances go from slim to none. So they want to make sure that when they commit to something, when they make up their mind, that they execute fully into it. Draken presented targets, able to drop one, but he does fall to 15 points of health. Draken taking two. The bomb fumbled to the ground, but Sixer, at least with one trade frag, able to retrieve it as Happy lurks yet once more in through mid, not going towards the A site as of yet. Sixer, a little scared. But Happy, look at this, all the way back towards CT spawn. If he can get behind this A site, he could crack it wide open. Meanwhile, Forrest does the same. If Scream were to win that, it could have been great. But instead now, the T side is boxed in, except for Happy.
For one's not enough, he needs more. Two is very good, however. But now the problem begins, well, how much of a pain can Forrest be, or is it Get Right? Have they forgotten about him? Do not forget about Get Right. He's just done it for them. NIP! Get this one back at 1-1. There's a reason everyone just went, all right.
shorter, lack of energy I'll conquer. In my soul, this is real. These nights are getting shorter. soul. This is real.
in games way before. Now we're getting to see actually very good CS, a much higher level from both sides. So I'm very happy to be seeing this. It always makes games far more exciting for me. But Train, I do feel, sits with ninjas in pajamas. Now, I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd like to see Envy, falling back to what we saw in Inferno. That was a great display from them. I don't know if we're going to get it, though. I did say at the start I thought it was going to go 3 maps. I had an inkling that might be the case. I did think it was going to go NIP's way if it got here, but putting your faith in NIP is always a scary bit of business. Yeah,
and I think it's fair to not just, say that now, but also just in the sense that they've added in these 2 new players, right? Like, again, they even come in with this expectation of, well, we'll see how far we can get. We'll see what happens. They're not putting any kind of a pressure on themselves, so it is hard to then put your odds on someone who has no pressure on them. But we'll find out. I mean, if we, think of any kind of a sample size from EnvyUS, they lost to KPI here on Train, 16-14, the final score. Of course, then again, that was a completely different EnvyUS from what we saw earlier today, and even to what we saw yesterday.
They need someone, and I don't care if it's RPK, who plays this very well, by the way. This is a good map for him. I'd like to see him being one of the heavy hitters here. Whether it be him, Scream, Six, I honestly couldn't care less who it is, but they need someone to be a bit of a headliner, to try and tip the balance. Because NIP have got several people who currently, right now, are doing very nicely with them, for themselves. They are certainly putting up a performance. Envy just having those last couple of words through. Six having a bit of a chat, but they have readied. It is almost go time. Map 3 on the horizon. NIP lost down Inferno. You can see all the smiles and joy starting to creep back on their faces after Cash went very much in their favor. Some of the classic Envy errors starting to occur that we saw there, that I can imagine triggers most of us to see happening still. But it's Train, it's a fresh map, it's a new start. Envy need to bring themselves into this game. They've got to bring their A game at this point, otherwise NIP will close this out and get to those finals.
Creeping and crawling their way towards the box halls is EnvyUS in the pistol. Of course, they have a nice little bit of utility to play with.
But look who's already going walkabouts. Draken's already got all the info. He's walked down through Ivy, instantly stacking over. Forest is on the way. This is a bit of an oversight from Envy if they go for just this dry hit towards B. This could be a huge error.
Yeah, we're already watching Nip starting to filter their players in. Smoke grenade to the back, flash in the eyes of Forest. So T-side starting to just flood their faces forward. It's going to be Rez popping 1, and he actually gets away with this. So the bomb does go down, but it's a 5v4 regardless. Sixer from the sky, able to take 1 head. Happy's flank arrives, and that's the next. Down to the 3v3, but flanks upon flanks as Draken takes another. It's going to be Forest with a kill. XMS finds 1, but he is all that's left, and now the bomb is tapped. XMS with another frag. Draken with no kit, and he comes off with a bomb. It's gonna work out. Draken with the clutch, and Nip with the pistol.
Let's now play the drinking game of how many times does Happy lurk in this map. Successfully is 1 sip. Unsuccessfully is a shot. So get yourself ready for that. It could be with a can of Monster. Doesn't have to be alcohol. Make a pick. We're going to start that game. He did alright in this one. He did come through Connector in the end, actually found Exist. But the point was that already, pretty sure it was Draken who pushed down Ivy early, and he was halfway into their spawn, so you'd already seen minimum 3 players head over towards B. The additional last player joined them in the end. And it's very easy to play it out when you've got all the info. Now you can see a bit of a change here. Happy going to be watching for this slightly, but it's a different look for Envy. A bit of a default to a degree, in the essence they're not just rushing B. They're taking a little bit of time, maybe hoping that one of the players from NIP does go looking for information again and gets met by the, I guess, the dangerous end of their guns.
These guns are incredibly dangerous this round, the M4 and the FAMAS. A trio of UMPs with a side dish of grenades. Get right, just spotting from a distance. Gonna reposition now as the T-side floods their way forward. Now, of course, they just love a bomb plant, maybe a couple kills. If they can take a gun and get themselves into the faces of the CTs, that's a whole other beast. Luckily, Draken able to bail them with 1 and 2, as EnvyUS have taken the same, but they haven't gotten guns. Sixer gets jumped on by Forest. Goomba stomps the back of Oil Tank, and now Happy's down. That's the lurk dealt with. They see it coming a mile away. Scream as well, so far from the bomb, and Nip will take the conversion.
The benefit there is the fact that at least Envy got the bomb plant. That's good money in their pocket, but you can see instantly, Exist sees who's alive, looks towards Connector, and here comes Happy. It's second nature by this point now. But yeah, for them, basically the plan was to get the bomb plant, and they succeeded. So that's not bad. That gets them on a good purchase this round, so it doesn't matter how they get there. That's all you can really ask for. But Forest on the double AWP. Now I'm excited to see this. Forest is having a good game. He starts, going off. This is great, and he's feeling aggressive too. He's going to take this kind of peek on the first. You fall back off it. And he's got Happy to handle. Drake in there, waiting with Exist. This looks like information play again, but with Envy playing out default, this looks good for them if they show patience and build meticulously.
I think it's really refreshing to see Forest op on his own terms. Misses the flick though. Draken posted up on the angle. Now the primary op for NIP. Forest having been stuck in that role when they had Pit on the roster. But now we get to see this. Very patient play from Envy.
Probably because of that flash, you can see they're still dedicated towards this. Draken sees the boost, gets the call. Good work. Exist does go down in the meantime, but Draken dominates by Ivy. And Happy's a little late to the party, sadly. He wasn't exactly posted up on this early on. Now going to try and play back off it, keep that pressure building. But I don't know where the rest of Envy are. They're all kind of split up through the map. They have no real gain here, so they need someone individually to really apply some pressure. Happy's doing well by keeping attention drawn to this, but oh, Draken missing a shot there. He committed to that too. Now, where are the other players going?
The entirety of NIP has been pulled towards this east side.
This is great. Really nicely done by Happy.
Excellently done. Now, he hasn't had an actual impact on this flank, but at least he's created a lot of space, and RPK is just going to keep moving forward. Sure enough, he does have Forest by his side, but the tank drops down. Get right, catches Happy, so the lurk's been quelled, as has been RPK. Sixer finding space, though, as he tries to double into this. The Molotov to prevent the movement as now he creeps in. And there is where Rez finds him. So a great round from NIP. They deal with that lurk. Despite giving up the bomb site and the plant, they will still find their round.
Look, I'm not always a massive fan of how Happy plays, but he played that really well. To pull that many players back over here. The other two players, of course, falling prior to that, but just going through the motions on it, just really keeping them on their toes, not allowing them to even consider there's anything else happening. It was really, really nice. It gets them the bomb plant. Sadly, nothing else came from it. And the double AWPs will retain. Now, Envy's money not so great here, being forced back to just, the pistols coming out, nothing much more to write home about. A fair bit of utility being forced through, actually. How much are they investing to? It's a fair amount. They've actually dipped below 2k, so banking on that bomb plant ready to come through here, or do some damage, get some guns away, because this is a relatively sizable investment, and Rez already going lookabouts.
He's going to get himself the fight, unless, of course, EnvyUS can convince him backwards using these grenades, but Rez leaves on his own terms, pops the molly, and drops down back to the bomb site. The entirety of EnvyUS start to head elsewhere. They are going to leave, of course, Happy to lurk. Surprise, surprise. All their options are open.
Hoping that maybe someone's pushed up somewhere. No one really has. NIP don't play a needlessly aggressive game. Generally, it's very well considered if they actually do go for something aggressive, or if they push up somewhere, if they make slightly more, I guess, in-your-face plays. They don't do it for no reason, especially when you've got the likes of threat back in this. They kind of have a lot of discipline building through them. Good flash, here comes the hit. Exist and Draken going to double up on this, but again, a lot of damage being done here. There's a lot of vulnerability as Scream and RPK will do well. The bomb, however, not with either of the two remaining players on the T side. Forest will absolutely dismantle this hit that's starting to look a little deadly, and RPK doesn't get a second shot at it. Forest there with the shutdown of 3.
Despite them able to clear out that crossfire that was so nicely set by the ninjas, Forest, with great positioning on that AWP, just one after another, takes 3 frags in the round. Nice to see him deal with the Ivy side first, or rather, sorry, the ladder, because that then allows for him to fixate his attention elsewhere. So just predicting these peaks time and time again. Forest with heavy impact, but not as much impact as Draken's had with his AWP. Either way, that's 15 frags combined between the two.
Ooh, Scream.
Mostly off of ops.
I like this. Scream's taking matters into his own hands. Really well played, reading the game plan very nicely, but Draken's quick. And this is going to spur on the B hit coming through. Forrest now prepares himself. Smoke comes in. The shot comes out. XMS is low, and there it is. Forrest punishes him. And again, Forrest, that's 2. The third's too far away. Sixer already has the angle. Smoke goes in. He now needs to think about that bomb. How does he get it across? How does he deal with this? It's a 2v2 that isn't comfortable yet. Yeah, time to back off. Happy can get a room to work with now. Nice. Happy able to again successfully lurk his way into the backside. Not pulling a rotation, but rather just securing a bomb site. Now he could further this if he wants to go section off the spawn. That's exactly where NIP currently have their forces standing. Full utility double kit. But Happy with the off angle. Should be able to just smother Drake as he rounds the corner. Preemptively fires though. Happy needs this frag and he is going to bait out the shot. He will take it. Now Rez 1v2. Smoke, frag, and an opportunity taken away. All thanks to Happy. Great positioning then. Good timing. And the utility to allow Envy to fall off, that was great. Otherwise, they could have get caught there, could have been spotted. They wouldn't have had the time on the rotate as well as they did, but it was just nice from Happy. He just knew that he was going to be pressured. Comes back around and then waits on the follow-up. And while that was happening, 6-2, just backed away, disengaged. Didn't stick around too long. It's a smart approach from that man. Wild to think that after 4 consecutive rounds, a single victory from EnvyUS puts the economy of the CTs in question. We see Exist sit on the P250. Get Right holds the mag, but he is dangerously close to Envy. They could be pummeled with the buckshot if they just pry downwards. Looking to rip flesh from bone. Molotov to force the hand. He is going to retreat. Gets back as well, so he's lucky to escape with his life at this point. Either way, that's still info for Envy, and they're going to decide to execute off of it. Yeah, NIP get a good idea of what's coming as well. Good damage, but no kills. It's Rez. It's got to be Rez to do something about this. The bomb goes loose, but he can't spiral it away. But while this happens, Get Right and Exist did do damage. We're down to a 2v2, but Get Right only has the mag 7, but already found some fine use with it earlier. And Draken takes away XMS, leaving RPK very isolated. Bomb not planted. A frustrating moment because RPK, he had the molly. That could have done it all. There was no smoke left up on NIP, so that could have been brilliant for him. So back in he goes, walking willingly into the battle. It's not exactly what you imagine yourself going for, but did he get spotted then? Has he been seen? Get Right can't do much until he gets the gun back. It's basically Draken who's the big player here. Yeah, they've been spotted. RPK taps away. Fall off it, Draken. You don't need to take that fight just yet. And RPK is waiting for the chance now. Frag grenade not going to deal any damage. Again, Get Right has been unable to grab a gun, but instead he starts to push on in. RPK to plume the smoke, and he's going to go for the peek. He spots the shadow, sees the spray, but it's Get Right who blasts him away. The headshot connects, and that's another round for NIP, effectively resetting Envy. And Get Right getting all that information over by Pop was pretty important, to be fair. You could hear all the steps above him. The molly, even though it did tag him, he had to back away. He heard that kind of play coming off the back, and that's why he instantly looked towards Connector in case maybe there was a split coming through. No one's there. All right, it's got to be B. Forrest prepares. The hit comes in. They do well, but it's still a close round. I'm surprised he had so much viability with that shotgun, as their money's not fully recovered yet either. Rez is going to be on the UMP, but it's fine. The other side don't have much of an investment. A couple of pieces of armor, bit of utility, but beyond that, just upgraded pistols. Immediately, though, we do see Sixer get out from T-Con. Forrest is up close. This Tech 9 could just wreck him, but instead the spray dwindles down his health. Get Right finds one frag. Draken with the op just starts to push them back. And that's it for Envy. They're just pinched into this corner now. Forrest has arrived. Happy at a distance does get taken down. So NIP with an effective anti-eco. And Envy still stagnate on 1. But it was important for NIP to not lose players, and that could have been big for Envy if they actually took guns away from NIP. You can see their money's not perfect. Now, it's still been a rebuy for NIP, but it just denies that bank building. And that's when Envy can start, striding back into the game, just ripping things away from them. But a decent purchase here for Envy. They're still in a good spot. Maybe do some work in this round. They need to start getting on the board, though. 1 round doesn't sit all that comfortably with you. Not having the best of times. And Rez, Drake are both going for aggressive plays here. And Rez, the one to take the attention, Draken backs away. The smoke goes up, nade comes out. doesn't really find a target at this point. RPK leering above the smoke.
Still a heavy presence from Nip on A, trying to keep Ivy at bay, and that's exactly where EnvyUS seek to entry in. Or at least distract, at the very least. Exist. Full-heartedly pulled towards this direction, happy, EnvyUS, just moving around. That's perfectly fine. He can leave RPK to just anchor over at the B site. Lots of grenades being exchanged towards Ivy. The response pulled out from Nip. And again, this is just a very good job of keeping the attention of NIP. They've pulled out that rotation once more. It's not even from Happy, but rather the rest of the forces. Exist spraying down one. They're gonna get pitched in, pummeled by bullets as Exist finds that 5v3. Bomb on the precipice of the B site. But Draken holds for kneecaps, and he is gonna spot one. Does the damage. Can Rez find these frags?
Almost waited a second too long, didn't they? They could have had it all for free, but RPK still does everything he can to try and keep it in check, but no. It falls away, and NIP keep building. Threat looks happy. Exist yet to smile. There's something to smile about this round, though. Finding that second player in the smoke. Always lovely. And these fakes just aren't sticking. Sadly for Envy, they're running out of options now. It looks like they're just, back to the wall a little bit here. Got to get something on the board. It's all good and well to damage money, but it looks like a bit of a the mini tactical timeout where essentially you're in spawn.
A la Existence. Which honestly I have no problem with. You can see everybody looking at the coach, I think. Other than Scream, he's just been fixated in. He's in the zone. Draken is up close, so what do they walk away with? They got the double D, triple, excuse me, and the P250. Haven't really seen any kind of set piece through, say, T-Con in the bottom of Pop Dog either. I mean, that's a pretty classic execution for the T side of Train. I think we saw Red Reserve just sticking to basic plays and keeping things simple and doing that well. Maybe EnvyUS could pull that page out of the playbook. Either way, it's Draken just making quick work of the players towards T-Con. Scream with a headshot, Draken with a trade. And so things go from bad to worse. EnvyUS down to 2.
An unlikely chance to take more weapons away. RPK. The Eagles certainly find their target with this team, but already NIP have so much ground game. But yeah, this was all for Envy to have a discussion and take the time to talk things through because they need it. They haven't had a big answer here. They've had some ideas. They've had some moments where they've been able to pull a couple of rotates here and there. The only thing that actually worked and got them around the board was pretty much that one lurk that Happy got the right timing on. And it wasn't even him trying to lurk into the back lines. It was more just so, how are you almost getting a bomb plant? Come on. There we go. Accepts his fate as Get Right does get the kill. But yeah, that round was just so they can prepare themselves for what's to come now.
Poor Sixer bamboozled by Get Right jumping on top of the bomb site. Never sees it coming. Now again, I think of already the success from Nip. It's coming off of the back of Draken. 15 frags on that AWP and Forrest as well with 11, predominantly opping. I noted that Envy hadn't gone for that smoke play, but I'd love to see them just try to use those smokes to block off the vision of the AWPs, try to counter that, and really get yourself into the faces of this defense. Because right now, Draken's just making quick work of it. They are going to go for the fast play, straight into A, Exist at the distance. Going to take himself the opening frag, but XMS picks up the heat, picks up the pace, and pushes in, near finding 2. Yes, Get Right down for the count, but Exist yet once more with another frag and a third. He is single-handedly keeping them in it as Happy will find the frag. Coming into the back is Forrest yet once more. So, Sixer, can you clutch? It is a 1v2, and you're going to get the plant.
He's got the foundations here. Still got the utility, the smoke and the flash, so he can make something out of this. And they're not sure where the bomb is yet. They know it's been out. Rez and Forrest going to start making their way through. And Sixer's position is rather different. He's going to have to wait on this, though. If he takes a shot on one, obviously the next one knows it. Oh, no! A disastrous miss. The molly comes out. He does have a smoke, but he can still get to position. But you can imagine Rez now watching this And here comes the defuse. Forest on it, 10 seconds, bearing in mind. Rez was the one with the kit, but Six is already out of there. I doubt he's going to be able to change anything about this round. And there it is. Defuse comes in. Sixer, he had a chance. He gave it a shot, but it was just a step too far. NIP looking incredibly strong here.
Risky defuse there by Forest. Within 1 second, that bomb is gone. But it works. Nice play by Exist this time around. I mean, that A-site does fall. They're able to push past E-Box, but he cleans it up.
For me, credit to XMS throughout that round. He was a very, very integral part in how they basically got that down. We saw that on Inferno as well, on those B-site hits. He actually does very well when he's played into the sites, you know, as a tactical hit. And of course, when there's double orbs up on the other side, you want to be just doing kind of site takes. You don't want to be doing splits just because you can get picked apart. It's much easier to be kind of destroyed on it. But that's also why the double AWP is so strong on this map, because it's very hard to just hit like defaults into the site. You can't just, you know, it's not easy to make to overwhelm those double AWPs. But now a bit of utility with Envy, so maybe they can at least try and abscond some of the vision away from one of those two, Draken or Forest.
Sixer waiting for that aggressive peek as XMS will creep in. Now, he has this bomb. You'd hate to see him lose it. Meanwhile, the Molotov to the center. Forest splash comes in. Scream will execute with the headshot. XMS with the next, but Exist again finding impact here, trying to make the best as the bomb site does begin to fall. It's Rez's rotation to find himself one frag, and Draken with the op again. So the man advantage back for Nip, but now they've lost it. 2v2. Sixer wanting more. As the bomb will make it towards the site, Nip at a distance, just slow things down.
Draken's got plenty of room to play here as well. Coming in from the old bomb train. Where is Sixer? Okay, he's watching this too. So this gets interesting. This sits in Sixer's hands. There it is. Shot lands. Rez. Not impossible, but incredibly unlikely situation for him to do much in. Very hard with no utility to cut off any of the avenues of approach. Sixer already readjusting. XMS waiting on the site. And Rez meets his maker. Nothing more to be done about it. Do we want the double AWP, they ask? And the answer is yes. They both pick up an AWP now, so that's an interesting one. Maybe something that Envy can go to here because, well, NIP have been on quite the run for some time. They have not been relenting at all. This has been a very solid CT side.
I'd love to see them just try to use these AWPs over towards Ivy yet again. If you're patient enough, and if you can catch those right angles and hit the shots when they do present them, can be so successful at just undermining any kind of an A-site defense. Really forces the CTs back towards, say, connector side or deep into the CT spawn, as seen in that last round. But Nip not going to shy away from aggression. Rez towards the box halls while Exist peeks at Ivy, but RPK catches the headshot and the 5v4 is found, leaving Get Right alone towards B. But EnvyUS not willing to make an execution. No commitment has been had.
No, slowing it down, allowing the AWPs to get picks if needed, but you can see them winding it up at B now. Happy supporting RPK, who walks through the smoke and still wins that fight. Forest will be frustrated with that one, and Get Right responds accordingly. But while this happens, the rest of Envy just tighten the noose across the rest of the map. They're not exactly hitting B either, and I think Get Right's realizing this. He's back to A. Draken making the calls, realizing the action is just ahead, and Get Right. Oh, this could be everything. He's right in the smoke. Then next to him, he can make this happen. If he finds the angle, he sprays. He can't deny the plant, but he gets the kill. It's a 3v2. It's still possible. But Happy on the late lurk. Get Right predicts it, expects it, but he can't get the shot off in time. And now Draken left to back away and keep hold of the AWP if he can.
EnvyUS able to dodge another hard reset. Sure enough, it's costly. They've lost 3 players already. And Scream looking like he might continue the hunt. But at least this does give EnvyUS enough space to work with. They're going to have 3 rounds on the board, a chance at the next one. They could still be par for the course. They've left it to the very last moments of this T side. But it's never too late.
No, this is starting to get a little scary. Getting quite close in these rounds, but the work towards B was great. But again, XMS, he's not a name that normally gets put on the headlines out of the Envy team. You know, you look down, it's pretty star-studded. You got Happy in there, Scream, RPK, you know, Sixer coming into his own with the AWP at times, but XMS, the value of the kills he gets them into sight. He's the one who kind of turns a lot of the odds back to the French side's favour. So now, just Draken with the AWP. He's the only man who can really make much of an impact this round. Unlikely the USPSs will do it, but there's still a chance. Happy takes a little bit of a step towards outer, and now going to fall off this one. Doesn't want to get himself caught up or lose out on that gun early on, as you can see the aggression coming back in from NIP, maybe looking to take that away.
Even as he has fallen back, they will find some map control. Happy, wary of their presence, just starts to pummel that wall with some gunfire, and the entirety of EnvyUS start to head out towards this B site. So looking to assert themselves. They did this well versus KPI on train, just using the high ground to really remove any threat from the bomb site, despite it only being pistols. You never want to see too many players fall.
Rez? How did Rez get that kill? He was just sitting by the spindles. I'm kind of surprised that no one checked on it. And Get Right finds Sixer. We've got 2 AWPs now coming up. It's down to 2 players. RPK wondering what's happening to the rest of his teammates. Oh, Forrest! He finds Happy. It's a 1v1. Get Right up against RPK. And Get Right waits. Tries to be careful. Tries to be smart. No armor, of course. And RPK playing it out cautiously as well. And Get Right couldn't adjust it quick enough. And RPK had the angle. He had the high ground. And he gets the shot.
Very well done by RPK. Cool, calm, collected, and successful in his clutch. I mean, while his teammates are falling, you know he's frantically just looking for this additional space. He can't help the players that are back towards site. They need to help themselves. So what can he do? Just pummel any players to the backside, and he does that oh so well. 4th round on the board for Envy. Guns in the hands of Nip. And Draken gets aggressive, punished so. RPK with a headshot and a 5v4 on Envy is a fantastic look for them. If he can grab this AWP, that's going to now get in the hands of XMS. He had only a Tech 9. Now all 5 players for Envy have guns. All 5 players have grenades. And Nip can't say the same. Double smoke, double flash, double kit.
Hard to tell where they're going at the moment as well. They didn't get much information from that peek off the back of Drake, and they saw too early, but that's it. Get Right playing down the bottom of Pop. Exist. Good timing on that. Smokes off Happy, but it does look as though Envy will be hitting towards A. Get Right could be a swing factor here, but he is coming up against RPK, who's having a very big game now. Get Right's going to hear this. Gets in a position that maybe he can work with, but RPK still has the flashes to put down, and the hit's going to start coming in right about now. Get Right needs this, and he gets it. But now anymore, they're already out by A. Where's the rest of NIP? Where's that stopping power? Exist waiting as well. Is Happy, patient as ever on the other side, waiting to start that lurk building.
Bomb has been planted.
Ice in his veins. Exist feeling the pressure now as the man will cross from Ivy. Happy pulls the trigger, peeks, and takes it. 4v2. Looking for more, he will find success. That's Forrest down. Rez follows suit, and Envy find themselves 5. They have managed to make this happen. They have made a T-side for themselves. They have more rounds now versus Nip than they did when they lost versus KPI. So they are certainly par for the course, and a 6th round on the board for them would look fantastic, especially considering the start. But what a great lurk there by Happy. You can see Exist waiting for it, and it's not until he's distracted, it's not until he's revealed himself that Happy decides to peek, and when he does so, he gets not just 1, but 2. Nip getting aggressive now. Existence on towards Ivy. Forrest with a deeg takes the head of XMS, and now Exist furthers the success as he pops the fire to the backside, but he's gonna burn alive.
You can see the damage starting to build up on Envy, but their recovery has been astounding on this map. And the man who just got picked up was actually a big factor in what happened in this. Now you're down to 3. 6 already taking damage early means that he's got to be very, very cautious on his approach. Even those deagles become very, very viable, especially in this man's hands. Forrest takes a little fight, but that's Happy on the other side. He can't back from this. He can only go forward. 1 flash. Does he come out before Happy? Doesn't matter. Happy spams away with a Tech 9. We're back to an even playing field. The HP's still a little low for Envy, but the gun's far from perfect for NIP.
Scream looking to assert himself, but it's Get Right with the next. Happy down for the count, so both players coming in on Ivy. And Scream will spot some feet, but his teammate has been taken down. That Sixer to hit the dirt. And Scream 1v3. He knows where two players are. The third could be revealed, but 30 seconds on the clock doesn't give him much time to play with. He's got nothing to lose other than his life. Get Right finding double digits for NIP as they double their lead versus EnvyUS heading into the second half. But my goodness, what a job done by Envy to at least make this one closer.
Yeah, those 4 rounds they strung together were the more integral part than any other part of the other maps. They basically give themselves enough room to work on the other side. Now, NIP's initial reign was great. The double ups were working beautifully for quite some time, but then RPK found room to operate. He just got right back into the game. It wasn't like he was being necessarily louder than anyone by a massive margin. Happy had a good game, so did XMS, but then you combined it all together and they started to put rounds on the board. It started to look way better for themselves. So there is a lot of room here for Envy to do something with, but again, you've got to start with that pistol. That's a big moment for them. Otherwise, you feel that you put NIP towards, what, 13 rounds? Unforced errors then become scarier than they should be. So, again, that does become something in the back of your minds. But overall, thus far, it's been a decent game here on Train. I thought it was going to be a little one-sided when we started this one off, but no, it's evened out. They found balance. The second half now underway. This is going to pretty much define who goes to the finals. Will it be NIP or will it be Envy?
Despite this being a very close game, we've seen EnvyUS really gruel out some wins, most notably versus Misfits. So, making a challenge for themselves as we start this second half. Kit and Smoke for XMS. And Scream will get aggressive. RPK the same. And IP looking to just flood into that bomb site by the looks of things. They've got the Smoke double flash. And now they have the Brown Halls.
Until Exist puts down that smoke, they can still go anywhere they want to. This might be the commitment now. Smoke goes in. One flash, waiting on the second, gonna keep hold of it. Flash forces a couple of the players off the angle. Happy gets overrun. Rez landing a shot there is quite impressive between him and Drake and dinking someone. But now it's going to be retake time. You can see that NIP weren't able to push that far forward, so still quite viable with those USPS to land some crazy shots here.
RPK is just going to crab walk to the top side. And at this point, he's not been spotted. He could just rain hellfire down towards the site, and he does. Sixer hits another headshot. These are crucial. RPK needs to win this duel, and now it's a double-man advantage. Rez versus Exist. Rez from behind, gonna show his hand, but now he has been dealt with. It's up to Exist, and he's firing at a distance, trying to find some frags. He hits the one, wants to stop the defuse, but it's all too late. NIP to forfeit the pistol, and Envy on the front foot.
They just about got that too, Envy, but it's there. That's the step they needed. And those USPSs just work so well at that range. You got to feel for Exist desperately trying to make it happen, but RPK up here got so much info done as well. Sixer in the meantime finding Drake and makes it all work for them and taking his time on that final shot. But now, obviously, NIP going to forgo this round at minimal investment across the board, just purely because they can buy into the thirds. They got the bomb plant on the first. Rez? Okay. Happy, get wrecked.
Poor guy gets clotheslined. He expects to find himself some easy frags, but that is certainly not the case. Nice wallbang, though, coming from the A site. So Draken, the man with the retrieved SMG, gets peppered down to a quarter health as Scream seeks to get aggressive. That's more damage, but still no frags. Crucial kills by Scream, but Forrest trades that one back, so now this is a bit of space here for NIP. They're able to retrieve that FAMAS. The MP9 to the wayside, no big loss. Nice headshot from XMS, make that 2. And back to the man advantage for Envy, but Get Right from above. Taking one as Sixer finds a trade. It is just Exist, the bomb carrier himself, with a very real chance at getting to this B site.
He doesn't want to run, though. Within that connector, you know he's going to be pretty close to at least one of them. Now he picks up the pace, gets the plant. That's good. That's more than enough. But I've got a feeling he could maybe make something more out of this. Where does he sit for the off-plant position? Let's keep our eyes on Exist. Okay, just going to post up by the ramp. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. And here comes the retake. Sixer does have a kit. RPK as well on the SMG, no problem. Does hear the steps now. Has to play this smart. Has to get the timing right. And this is going to get tricky. Both players face at the same time. Not a chance there for Exist in the end. But, again, more opportune moments building for Envy. This is good stuff from them. Getting right back into this game. NIP not getting all that, everything they want. But the problem is now for Envy, because they're on that CT side, obviously, the money gets punished pretty heftily, even when you lose out a couple of players. Now, NIP can get a decent buy in this round. They're always going to. They had a good couple of plants. They got some good kills. You can see SMG is still sat with Envy here. It's not perfect, but if they make this work, Envy really get their foot in the door now.
Ooh, very fast utility play into this A bomb site. XMS, he's going to try to hang on towards the site itself, where Sixer's able to find one first pick. That's off of the op. 4 AKs still standing, though.
God, these flashes.
So great, but up close in the face of the defense. Happy's gonna get the best of things until Rez responds with a headshot onto Scream. So, 3v2 now. As the bomb's been dropped, RPK to the backside. Big play. EnvyUS to 8, and the first gun round of Nip comes up near empty-handed.
Yeah, this is where it gets scary if you're an IP. You don't want to call a pause in this round, but in the back of your mind, you might have to start considering when do we do it, because you don't want to let Envy start feeling out the game or start getting excited by it and, thinking, all right, we got this. If they get to that, that's when they get even scarier. That's when you start seeing them really come into their own. And Sixer was a real MVP in that round, buying the time, getting the frags until the likes of RPK appeared in the end. And now NIP looking for the plant, eyeing it up, hoping for the best. Molly goes down towards the lower ramp. A couple towards the higher side. No commitment from the bomb on the back of this, though, so no problem with that. And we're going to see what NIP can find here.
Rez looking for a dirty deeg. He's going to get tagged up and then dealt with. RPK hitting the headshot and finding that 5v4. So, Nip unfortunately losing the little they had to work with. Oop, that's awkward.
You see the RPK's feeling confident. Even tagged up, he's still taking fights. But this has encouraged the hit to come through. You can see the bomb starting to work its way around towards B. Happy's pushing himself up towards the ramp. He's going to be the close-by action. Any tags coming is going to really stop them up. But Happy overwhelmed in the end. 2 kills going to come through for NIP. But can they get the bomb plant in? No nades, no mollies to stop them now. Bomb plant is there. Forrest does get himself a rifle as well. No armor to supplement, however. So Envy should be able to work this back. Look at Drake and look at Exist. They are so low HP-wise. It becomes very tricky. Forrest going to try and be the turret. Hold it down. Sixer says no. It's Exist and it's Drake, and to try and do anything they can to keep NIP in this round. But XMS doesn't like it. He doesn't want that storyline. And Drake now swings in, takes down 1. There's still a kit on Sixer. No one's facing this. Draken's got 2 bullets left. Bodyguard stands in their way. 1 more shot. Oh, he doesn't quite get it through. And Sixer stays alive on 24. Scream holding it down as well. And again, 1 more step closer.
These are rounds in the hands of EnvyUS, but they're not convincing at the least. So many losses have been sustained. It's still going to afford them another buy with grenades to boot, but you can argue Nip in the exact same spot. Draken on the op. It was on the 5th round that we saw EnvyUS get there first, only to be reset. Lots of defuse rounds, again, similarly to the first half.
And Envy are going for a different approach to a small degree. We saw them doing this in their previous games on Train, but this CT side aggression. XMS going to push up. Forrest seems aware this is a possibility. He's really sitting back a little further. Draken as well, but as soon as he scopes in, it might be heard. I think he's just fallen out of range from being able to hear it. And it was a bit of a solo B play early on as well. I think that was just RPK there, but support's come through, and now they're both posted up. But a default from NIP. Look at this. Right across the map. Players just about everywhere. 1 over by Pop, 2 by Connector, a couple by B. Nothing really shown. So a slower approach. Red's going to start applying implied, I guess, presence over here. Not really going to be doing too much. That's going to force Scream over. But because they have players pushed close by, it's going to be hard to read. Now, Envy aren't sure what's happening. This is how default works. It keeps you guessing. It makes it difficult. And that's going to force Sixer off the angle. He's going to spot the feet, though. He knows there's something here, but where's that bomb? Where's the actual hit going to come through?
Just waiting in a questionable spot. Tag to 66. Scream finding the first frag, but it's Rez and Draken to take it back by 2 immediately so. XMS reveals himself as he tries to duel off towards Connector. Get Right finds 1 headshot. Happy with the trade. So a 3v2 and the bomb is down. Both CTs at a distance for now.
Hard to find any playback into this hit. You can see XMS getting up on the trains, trying to get a shot going, but Draken spots it, gonna call it out. Shouldn't lose out on that. Rez knows where the info comes from. They're just leaving Rez out there. Looks like a bit of tasty bait, but he's got limited HP anyway, so even if he falls, he can be the warning beacon, the little feet giving away the tip-a-tap under the bomb train, but Happy's getting nothing. He's seeing nothing. He's making it as far as he can, but finally NIP fight back 11-9 now. But that took time. That was a long run from Envy. We'll see how their money's sitting. It's still not perfect. You've got a couple of players on like 1.5. RPK feeling a little tight for cash. Again, Sixer, about 2.7. They can force a buy, but it's not pretty. So even though Envy were on quite the streak for an incredible amount of time, what, 4 rounds back-to-back, keeping it quite clean to a degree, but winning them out, it was close enough to force the money right down here. So NIP back in this good flash, but would they expect it? Exist. Could be farming here, could be enjoying this. Rez behind him, he's got support. And now just 1 more close by. Lovely nade. Forrest will thank him for that, but doesn't actually do that much damage. So Happy, last man standing.
This is a crucial round for NIP. Again, in that first half, we saw Envy get reset. This will not be the case this time around. The 21st should be in the hands of NIP, and it is. Forrest with the last headshot over towards that spawn. That's a 3-point lead now for NIP, and a very real opportunity to further it at that. Again, that was a forced buy from Envy. They put everything on the table, and it comes crashing down around them.
Relatively light investment should be coming through for Envy. Bit of armor, a couple of pistols. Don't want to buy too low. I can imagine to about 3k, maybe 2 on some. Just keeping it clean as you can. Want to ensure that when it comes down to it, NIP just don't get that streak building. But their money's starting to look a little better on a couple of players already. You've got a few up towards 6k, 5 on Get Right. Scream. Let's get some ground gained, but have to land a bit of a banger to make it actually count for anything here. Is NIP again. Start the default. Bomb's over towards B this time though, so might indicate that's the plan. RPK will spot the bomb though. Could make a call off the back of this, but it's not like NIP are going to just jump on it. They don't know if there's a stack. They're unsure. That's why you're seeing defaults. You're not sure what these guys are up to or where the vast majority of the CT side is, and they can just fall off this.
At least Scream has a bit of real estate to play off of. Get Right's locked down Ivy side, but it's nice to see Forrest actually cautious, and there we go. Snubs him out and keeps it in that 5v3. XMS just desperately trying to scuffle his way back into the bomb site. He's gonna get up close. Again, he has the D, could deal some damage, and he will. Finds the headshot onto Rez, could find another, and yes! It's Forrest. Demolished on site. Bomb as well here. But it's a 3v3. One of those situations where you'd think EnvyUS are out of it, but you just never know. At least Draken with the op is able to catch Happy, but XMS with a 3rd and a 4th! He needs the 5th, he deals the damage, but Get Right is still up. And he's gonna take the plant in the clutch of a crucial round.
XMS going beyond what you'd expect, but Get Right needs to play this right. Sixer has an opportunity. 50 HP on Get Right, and here it comes. Get Right does get tagged again, down to 9. Sixer, 1 shot away, and he knows it. The smoke's not great. He's going to toy with it, begging for Get Right to peek him, but no. Get Right waits, and eventually he takes the fight, and Get Right wins it. No matter how much XMS pull up a fight, it doesn't matter in the end. There'll be another on the board to NIP. And XMS put up, what a show. Look at this again. These are fine. These are nice. These are nice to watch. It's the others, these shots, that just blow your mind. 1, and then this is just perfection.
And you think if Get Right didn't wait a moment longer, already that crosshair was set. It's the fact that he peeks out as it's pulled away. And and the reactive pull on the mouse is just not enough. But can RPK lock down B? Get Right removes him after he takes one. Smoke further towards the Z. Get Right wants some frags, but it's Forrest with another. And now he sees the targets. They're all lining up. Scream able to remove him and deal further damage. Forrest and Draken heavily hit. But that is the bomb now down. Happy, Scream on the retake with no utility, but another frag. Scream, what was that?
Just casually fall off the train. Forrest is about to show Happy how he likes to lurk. It's a surprise and you'll never see it coming. Forrest at the back finds Happy. And the others lock it out. There it is. Strides now in the right direction for NIP. Close rounds, scary rounds. There's been moments of brilliance from individuals here. But at the end of the day, NIP just a couple of rounds away now from being in the grand finals here in Valencia for the DreamHack Astro Open. This is what they're fighting for. This will be their 15th. This will be match point. You can imagine at least. Only pistols against them. The one after, that's where it all begins, or where it all ends.
Immediately out into the A site is Get Right, looks to lead the charge. XMS removed already. No deegs for you, good sir. Can Get Right find further success here? He is being afforded a lot of room near site. Forrest able to give him that extra bit of help, but RPK to respond back with a kill onto Rez. Get Right is still standing, and it's Happy who then gets removed. So the Ninjas in Pajamas secure overtime at the very, very least. And EnvyUS will need 6 consecutive rounds, or they're going home.
You've got to feel this is NIP's hands. Once they got it going, once they got the rifles out, they have been so damn poignant on that T side. Double ups against them though. First time we get to see it really on the CT side. Happy and Sixer. This is the time to make it count. This is your tournament life on the line. Will you go out now, or will it be you playing towards those finals? And here goes Happy. First real strike from Envy. Good molly from NIP though, keeping it in mind. Aware that maybe Envy are trying to do something a little bit beyond their means. And here comes the boost. XMS and Scream up close, Happy to find Rez. And they're both close by. He turns it. Draken with a shot to the back. And there's XMS in return. We're down to a 4v3. There's life yet in Envy.
But XMS reveals himself. He gives up his shoulder and his life. Get Right spots the barrel. He knows. Now nobody's going to peek T-Con because he's telling them of this threat. But as he tries to find it out, oh, he will take it. All right, extended spray, still able to pay off. Get Right wants some more. He knows where both players are. All the information here for Nip. But it's RPK to contest it. The flashbang doesn't connect, and so it is all on Sixer. 1v3 versus 2 tagged targets. The bomb starts to plant, but he spots it. He doesn't drop it. It has been planted, but Sixer with some space here. Get Right on 34. Sixer on the site. He's gonna get sprayed, and there we go! The Ninjas in Pajamas, your first grand finalists at the DreamHack Astro Open Valencia circuit.
Sweet